Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So I wanted to cover this story. I thought it was pretty amusing. Apparently Prince Harry and Meghan Markle wanted to hitch a ride home with Jill and Joe Biden on Air Force One. So after Queen Elizabeth II's funeral, they expected to fly back with the president and they were denied. We know how entitled they are. Apparently they're known in Hollywood to try and get freebies from celebrities. They've asked to fly on people's private jets before. They've asked to use people's beach houses. They expect these things to just be given to them, I guess because Harry is a prince and he's used to having everything handed to him on a plate. But they're soon finding out that in Hollywood, people appreciate you having some talent. People appreciate you having some work ethic. And we know they're known for not having a very good work ethic. Ask Spotify, ask Netflix. So let's get into the story. So Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were denied a request to hitch a ride back to the United States with the Bidens on Air Force One after Queen Elizabeth II's state funeral in September. The White House worried that such escorting the estranged royals back across the pond would cause a commotion, sources told the Daily Mail. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex had been on the outs with the royal family following their bombshell 2021 interview with Oprah Winfrey when the Queen died at the age of 96 on September 8. And while they did this interview, they knew that Prince Philip was dying and they knew that the Queen was very ill. The couple had been in the United Kingdom for charity events at the time and remained in the country through her funeral on September 19. And they were away from their kids for quite a while, at least over 2 weeks, and apparently the Queen actually requested to see Harry, and he never went to see her, just a couple of days before she passed away, which is very sad. However, they were uninvited from a pre-funeral reception at Buckingham Palace, where other royals, including King Charles and Queen Camilla, Prince William and Kate Middleton, were welcomed alongside President Biden and the First Lady Jill Biden, Jill and other world leaders. Yes, because they were not working royals. They made a big deal about that as if they were, invited at first and uninvited. It wasn't expected that they would go to such an event because that was an event for working royals. And we know that they left their roles as working royals in 2020, despite still wanting the perks. At some point, they expected US taxpayers to fund their security too. And Trump said no. And apparently Biden, although they seem to be buddy-buddy, has also said no to Harry and Meghan. So that's a good thing. And it says, the couple was snubbed at the funeral at Westminster Abbey, seated in the second row behind the rest of the royal family. Again, I don't think they were, snubbed per se. I think they were just seated in the second row because they're not working royals. Harry still played an integral role throughout his 2 weeks in the UK, throughout all of the events surrounding the funeral. So, they were even invited on a walkabout, although there was some reason behind that. In response, Harry and Meghan's staff reached out to the White House to request if they could get a ride back on Air Force One back to the United States, where they had been living in California since giving up their royal duties in 2020, according to the Daily Mail. But it was a hard and immediate no from the White House, with little further discussion. Good, that's the best way to deal with them. Just a simple no. Denied. They get into a discussion, that discussion might be repeated all over the press at a later date. It would have caused such a commotion, it would have strained relations with the palace and the new king, a source said. Oh, okay, so they were worried about how it would look. Maybe it would look like the Bidens are taking sides and they want to remain neutral, perhaps. The White House did not immediately respond to the Post's request for confirmation. I think they were denied because this is Air Force One. It's the official plane of the president for official engagements. It's not just for taking your friends across the globe because they can't be bothered to pay for their own private jet. Absolutely ridiculous. It just goes to show their mentality. They're very entitled. They think that they're up there with people who do real work. I'm not saying that's what this administration does, but, the President of the United States, it is considered the most difficult job in the world. which again, after Biden's recent visit to the UK, and many are questioning how he's in this position and the people who put him in this position and how they're allowing it, considering that he's got a lot of cognitive decline. That's very evident. They're very entitled. They think everybody, from the President of the United States to the royal family to the British public, the American public, needs to bend over backwards to accommodate them. Hollywood. And it's all because of their titles, the titles that they're hanging on to for dear life. What happened to just Harry? What happened to caring about the environment and climate change and all of that? But he gets private jets every 5 minutes. They're always getting on private jets, although they try to downplay it. But no, you're not fooling anybody. And apparently they love other people's private jets.
But the grifter story is fascinating because, coincidentally, I heard the reason why he called them the grifters, and that is because they're scroungers, the Sussexes. And I heard this particular story, which is extraordinary, which is that Harry and Meghan were invited to this sun-kissed place by the beach. And they were staying for a couple of days, had arrived with the host's private jet, as usual, and wanted to leave. And then they heard that someone else who was there was quite an interesting person and also had a beautiful house by a beach. And Meghan went up to her and said, "Is there any, let us talk, let us become friends." The following day, after they were taken back home on their private jet, or the host's private jet, Harry called this particular woman and said, "Is there a chance that we could borrow your house? Meghan wonders whether we could have it." And the woman was a bit puzzled by this, but said in the end, okay. The following day, Harry calls and says, Meghan also says, "Can we get there in your private jet?"
Oh, my God.
And that is exactly what the grift is all about. It's about scrounging. It's about Harry and Meghan constantly looking for freebies, whether it's jets, it's houses, meals, whatever. And that is, in the end, what drove Spotify and also Netflix mad.
The Bidens can invite whoever they want aboard Air Force One. However, the issue remained of who would pay for Harry and Meghan's airfare. Airfare? What? There's no way they expected to have to pay any sort of airfare. They love their freebies, as we know. Air Force One trips for official government visits, like the Bidens' trip to London for the Queen's funeral, are typically paid for by taxpayers. There we go again. They think these things just come for free and nobody's paying for it. They don't realise that this is coming out of the pocket of American people. And you think you're entitled to that. Just like you wanted the American people to pay for your security. Just like you expect British taxpayers to still pay for you, even though you've left the role. And now you want to hop on Air Force One and you think that comes for free. You think that there's no cost to that. Others' trips are typically billed for their rides. Biden pays for his own family to fly on the plane. Political parties cover flights to campaign events, and news organizations pay for journalists to cover the commander-in-chief. Just months earlier, in April 2022, Jill Biden had turned down an invitation from Harry and Meghan to attend the Invictus Games, a multi-sport event for wounded and sick service members launched by Harry in 2014, which is based on the Warrior Games here in the US. The Games, held in Hague in the Netherlands, were the first Harry hosted since he and Meghan exited the royal family. Yeah, Harry hosted the Games, but it was very much Harry and Meghan's event, especially Meghan. With all the money she spent on clothing, doing speeches, kind of stealing Harry's thunder, nothing new there. Both Bidens attended the Games when they were held in Canada in 2017, and Jill Biden attended the 2016 Games in Florida. So that's how they have a relationship. The Bidens have attended the Invictus Games on multiple occasions before Biden was president. So I guess they've built up a rapport over the years. So Harry thought he can just hitch a ride with the Bidens back to the US. He didn't think about how that would look. He didn't think about who was going to pay for that, because the president can't use Air Force One for his friends, to just hitch a ride with him. Somebody has to pay for it. So yes, there was a lot to consider, and the best answer is just to simply say no. Despite the First Lady's desire to accept Harry and Meghan's invitation to go to the 2022 Games, British officials expressed to National Security Council staff that they felt her appearance would look bad, sources told Daily Mail. Really? By that time, the couple were viewed as individuals with no official state standing, the source said. Instead, oh, okay. Yes, if they had gone to the Invictus Games, when they were no longer working royals, it would be like you're just, inserting yourself in this whole royal drama, and you're going to the Invictus Games because you're friends with them rather than being there in an official capacity. That's what it would have come across as. And again, with the Air Force One, if they had hitched a ride back to the US, there would have been people asking who paid for that. People would have been asking, was this done in an official capacity? What was the purpose of them being on Air Force One? People would have had questions. So yes, by that time, the couple were viewed as individuals with no official state standing, the source said. Instead, Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg and his husband, Chasten, attended the US delegation, which, not much to brag about. So interesting. And in other embarrassing news for the couple, Harry's memoir, Spare, it did become, a bestseller at one point, but it also became the most dumped book of the summer after being ditched by holidaymakers at hotspots. So people bought the book and then just threw it in the trash. Prince Harry's moany memoir, Spare, is the most dumped book of the summer. It has been ditched by readers in rooms, bins, and by pools at holiday hotspots. That's not good for the environment, Harry. Come on now, you got to do your part. So apparently hotel staff are fed up with the copies that have been left of this book in Spain, Greece, Turkey, and they're returning it to tour operators. And with the school summer holiday yet to begin for many families in the UK, the company is braced for more Harry books. Zoe Harris, on the beach, Chief Customer Officer, said, "We've never witnessed anything quite like it." Lost property offices in our most popular resorts are brimming with copies of Spare. We thought it was funny at first, but over the past few months, several other hotels have been sending the books back. Now, we have bookcases full of them. I'm asking hotels to please stop sending them over. Otherwise, we'll never get rid of them all. That is absolutely hilarious. And this is a cause for concern. We're trying to reduce our litter. We're trying to reduce waste in 2023. I mean, are they going to recycle all of these copies? Maybe we should all take a leaf out of Harry's book and spare ourselves the bother in the first place. On the beach is to give away hundreds of the discarded copies online. So there you go. If you want a free copy of Spare, contact this organisation on the beach and get your copy today. And Harry and Meghan have denied rumours that there is trouble in paradise. A lot of people are predicting that the couple are going to go their separate ways. Some people even believe they're separated already. I really don't know. None of us know for sure. But there have been, rumours circulating. But they have played down these rumours. An insider of the couple, maybe Omid Scobie, who knows, has told Page Six that those reports are false. It's not true. It's literally made up, the insider explained. So it was previously reported that he did plan on going to Africa alone. And, that would help them kind of reset and help Harry find himself, so to speak. And it was also reported that they're having troubles with their finances as they continue to fund their security. They continue to fund their huge mansion. It said that stress, coupled with their emotional issues, has likely made life a living hell. Taking time apart on different continents will hopefully help them find whatever they need to move on. And an anonymous tipster apparently said that they sold their mansion and Harry is living somewhere else. So this was all the reports that were coming out. But Harry and Meghan, apparently the source close to them, an insider, has said that none of it is true. And, they're still together. They're not separated or planning on going their separate ways anytime soon. So let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Do you think the Bidens should have allowed Harry and Meghan to hitch a ride with them back to the US? Thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves and God willing, I will see you in the next video.